खजूर का जो डंपिंग ग्राउंड है तो उसकी वजह से हम लोग को बहुत मतलब तकलीफ होती है। इतना गंदा स्मेल, दोनों टाइम पे इतना गंदा स्मेल आता है कि हमको विंडोज़ बंद रखना पड़ता है, दरवाज़ा और खिड़की बंद रखना पड़ता है।
विलेज का रोड बहुत छोटे है, उसमें फेरी वाले बैठते हैं और आदमी को चलने को आने को बहुत तकलीफ होता है।
हम जब बारिश के मौसम में स्कूल जाते हैं तो रास्ते में खड्डे होते हैं, खड्डे में पानी भरा होता है। हमको स्कूल जाने के लिए बहुत तकलीफ होती है।
Authorities, I have not seen any authorities here. None of the authorities have come to see what is the condition.
उनका इलेक्शन हो जाता है, उनका काम निकलने के बाद वो देखने के लिए भी नहीं आते, पब्लिक मर रही है या जी रही है।
इलेक्शन के टाइम में बहुत मंच लगाते हैं, बोर्ड लगाते हैं और मंच पे बोलते हैं तुमको राशन कार्ड देंगे, तुमको पानी देंगे, तुमको बाथरूम का शौचालय बना के देंगे। वो जब ये इलेक्शन खलास हो जाता है वो 5 साल तक वापस कोई मंच बनता नहीं और कोई कुछ करता नहीं।
This time they have decided that they are going to choose the nota or none of the above options in the upcoming BMC elections on 21st of February.
आज तक BMC ने हमको एक ड्रॉप भी पानी का नहीं दिया है।
BMC ने अगर पानी कनेक्शन ही नहीं तो उसी कौन से ग्राउंड्स पे दिए वही हम लोग को नहीं मालूम पड़ रहा है।
Every 5 years they see the politician coming to them and probably they give them some small amounts of money and they try to buy their vote, but nothing really happens. The situation remains the same.
पानी नहीं है, लाइट नहीं है, कोई चीज़ नहीं है। आके BMC वाले म्यूनसिपैलिटी तोड़ के चले आते, फिर से बनाओ, फिर से दरवाजे लाओ।
और दूसरा क्या है, जो भी आता है वोट देने के लिए क्या नहीं बोलते, नल लगाए गए, मीटर लगाए गए, ये लगाए गए, वो लगाए। जैसा वोट मिलने के बाद तो बोले तोड़ दो, म्यूनसिपैलिटी को आके बोलते कि तोड़ के जाओ, फिर उसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे।
किसी को वोट देना नहीं है, देना है लास्ट में नोटा को बस, और किसी को नहीं देना।
Well, as the most valued corporation in the country goes into vote, the votes are all out and there is a big fight right now for Mumbai. In fact, Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is addressing a rally in Mumbai. He's currently making statements like, we will stick to our plan for development, we will develop a corruption-free BMC. The Maharashtra CM dismisses the Shiv Sena's claims that the BMC is the third most transparent body in India. Let me go across to Richa, who's on the phone line right now, who's attending that rally being addressed by the Chief Minister. Richa, if you can hear me, it's very interesting that the Chief Minister who represents the BJP, who has been an ally of the Shiv Sena for several decades, now turns around and says that the BMC is not transparent.
Yes, that's right. The Prime Minister, after started his rally with addressing this whole issue of how the Shiv Sena's claims of being a transparent party and dismissing all the posters and banners that they have put across the city and of all the work they have done to make the BMC transparent, and also their claim of Mumbai's BMC being the #1 in the country. He basically brought in a hard copy with him with a handwritten proof of how the claims made by the Shiv Sena have not been true enough, because according to the list that he showed in the rally today, he stated that Hyderabad is #1, second is Bangalore, and third is Mumbai. This directly counters the claims of Shiv Sena that they were making so far throughout the city in the campaign, posters that they had put up throughout the city of Mumbai being Mumbai's BMC being the most transparent.
Richa, did the Chief Minister say anything about the problems that we've been tracking here in Mumbai? The fact that the dumping ground still remains a massive problem. Garbage is not being managed. We understand that several homes in the city still don't get water. There are lots of very basic problems. I mean, talking about Wi-Fi is one thing, but in a city that doesn't have a decent garbage management system, doesn't get water, doesn't have sewage management, is there anything he said in his speech to talk about what the BJP will do to solve these problems?
Yes, he did speak about the dumping ground issue, which has been again from a few years now being a very prominent problem in the Deonar and the Mulund dumping grounds. He stated and again blamed the Shiv Sena for this whole issue, because they say that despite 2.5 years back, when the High Court presented its order that these dumping grounds should be closed down, despite that, because of the nexus and the scam that has been done by the contractors and the BMC. He stated that these dumping grounds haven't been closed down yet, and he promises, even in his manifesto and today in the rally, that he will do something for this, and he will surely make sure that these dumping grounds will be closed down once he comes into power.
All right, Richa, many thanks for
Yeah.
Many thanks for joining us on the phone line there. Richa Sharma, who's attending the Chief Minister's rally as he rallies for the BJP in the BMC elections. Of course, like I told you, this is going to be a massive, massive election. There's a lot of money at stake for politicians, but for you and me, the next 5 years are at stake. The election will also take place in Pune and in Thane at the same time. And if we don't actively take part in what's going on, then we run the risk of having to sit around and complain for another 5 years as the city is run into the ground. We're focusing on the big election that's coming up. Of course, now we have manifestos that's come out from every party on what they plan to do to fix the problems in Mumbai. This evening, we're going to focus on the very interesting battle that's building up between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. And that battle has gotten very sour between two old friends. What does this mean really for the city of Mumbai? Is it another political game that they're playing just to get our votes? Where does it leave us as citizens? Joining me in the studio today, Clyde Crasto, spokesperson of the NCP, Niranjan Shetty of the BJP, Susiieben Shah, the General Secretary of the Mumbai Congress, will join us through the course of this conversation. Shailesh Gandhi, former CIC and RTI activist, joins me in the studio. So does Nikhil Desai, who comes in as a citizen, and Jitendra Gupta, who is also an activist here. I want to start with Shailesh Gandhi. Shailesh Gandhi, we've seen the whole BJP-Shiv Sena saga play out over the last couple of weeks, and it seems to get more and more murky. We just heard from our reporter who is at the rally where the Chief Minister is speaking, where he's openly discrediting the Shiv Sena and all of their claims at this point. From your reading and experience, is this just another political gimmick? Do you actually believe that these two parties have the interest of the city in their hearts?
The past experience doesn't seem to show that. But even today, I would suggest, instead of saying we must condemn these, I would say they should promise us a cleaner city, a city with better roads, and by saying that, I'm saying specifics. A city where all bituminized roads must have 5-year contracts and these 5-year penalty clauses must be applied. 64C of the Municipal Corporation Act says that all applications, complaints and representations by citizens must be dealt with within 45 days. So on and so forth. If they do that, we'll believe that. And my submission is, we should develop a corruption perception index and a cleanliness perception index for the city. And they should promise this and say every year they will get a survey done by an independent authority and put this up. If they do something like that, merely blaming each other and saying you are corrupt, this is the standard tu main mein, which I think we keep seeing on TV channels, and I don't think it leads us anywhere. Also on dumping grounds,
yes,
they must commit that 10% less material will be sent to the dumping ground year on year. If they do that, that's a commitment that we want specific commitments from them. We are sick of these generalities, and I don't think any of the parties, whether it's the Congress, whether it's BJP, whether it's Shiv Sena or NCP, is going to deliver unless they commit specific generalities to us.
Well, you've obviously seen, Shailesh Gandhi, you've seen the BJP manifesto and the Shiv Sena manifesto. They are, if not anything, very general. Stringent action will be taken against corrupt officials. It says 24-hour water supply, cleanliness drive for Mumbai's, beaches, more sewage water treatment plants, free Wi-Fi in major areas. And I have Niranjan Shetty on the show right now. Niranjan Shetty, on behalf of the citizens of Mumbai, let me just point out to you, we don't need free Wi-Fi, Mr. Shetty. We need water, we need sewage, we need clean air, we need open spaces, we need basic human rights. We need, and this is really basic, we need for the sewage pipes and the water pipes that run alongside each other to not mix their contents. So Wi-Fi can really wait. And while I appreciate the Chief Minister's vision that Mumbai will be completely Wi-Fi, I would prefer if Mumbai would have water supply instead, Mr. Shetty.
No, absolutely. Faye, I would like to appreciate the Lucanu, what you have found out in the manifesto. But please understand that the three other people's manifesto, either it is of NCP, Shiv Sena or Congress. They are not mentioning the required basic needs of the city. Now this is the difference of our manifesto.
I'll send you a copy. Please go through it.
We have concentrated on the water sewerage treatment plant. We have concentrated on the potholes that have been happening, and in case if proper potholes are not been settled properly or not done properly, we will not charge the taxes. Now we are not giving any freebies in this manifesto or in the election promises. What we are trying to do is upgrade the city, and whatever, as you rightly mentioned, what is the basic need of the requirement? 24 hours water supply. Now there has been a rampant corruption in the slums, especially when you ask for a meter connection. There is a nexus between a plumber who's a licensed plumber and along with the corporations. So we are going to do away with all such kind of things. You rightly pointed out the requirement again of the basic necessity. We are talking of the health card. We are talking of the card that is required for the citizens of the thing. So no freebies have been offered in our BJP manifesto.
You know, Niranjan Shetty, I'm reading off your manifesto, and it says very clearly the one very clear specification. And I like to deal with deadlines, because deadlines will actually give us something to hold on to. There's only one deadline, Shailesh, Gandhi and Mr. Desai, there's only one deadline in this manifesto. It says the Shivaji statue will be ready in the next 5 years. Now, I just want to ask Niranjan Shetty.
Can I come in here?
No, Niranjan Shetty, Shivaji statue will be ready in 5 years. I really like deadlines, so I appreciate the deadline. Please tell me, where is the money coming from to build this Shivaji statue?
Now, see, let us discuss. You discussed about the basic needs. The added one was the Wi-Fi one, which is also the need of the youths of today in the Mumbai city. But apart from that, we are not giving any kind of freebies like how the NCP, Congress or Shiv Sena is giving.
No, you're not answering the question I asked you, Mr. Niranjan Shetty. No, I just want to know, Mr. Shetty, I just want to know, where is the money coming from to build the Shivaji statue?
Then we will not charge taxes.
No, since we're talking about statues, since we're talking about taxes, I just want to understand, and I appreciate the deadline of 5 years, where is the money coming from for the cost of building the Shivaji statue? Is it coming out of the state budget, the BMC budget, out of the state budget? Under which head will this cost come out of? Because we understand we're talking about 37,000 crore rupees over the next 5 years. So where will the money come from? Does the BJP have a fix on that amount?
It will naturally, it is. See, that is what I'm saying. This is not basically from the taxes of the municipal corporation. It will be built by the state government, but this will enhance the tourism in Mumbai city, and that is why this promise has been added.
So, okay, Niranjan Shetty, the state government is currently tremendously in debt.
Shivaji,
since we are talking about the BJP's ability to manage
it will add a revenue to the Mumbai city itself.
One at a time. One problem at a time, sir. One problem at a time. First of all, the state government is completely in debt right now. It does not have the money, from what we understand, to compensate farmers in the state who have died or have committed suicide. That state government is going to cough up 37,000 crore rupees to build a statue, point number one. Point number two, if you're talking about what it is going to raise in terms of revenue, the Taj Mahal raises 20 crore rupees a year, okay, from revenue. If at that rate, how many years will it take? How many years will it take for this statue to recover its cost in tourism?
It is the highest revenue earning body in the whole of the country. So there is no separate, and that is why once again I am saying that there are no freebies that are offered. What we are giving is the promise on a stamp paper. We are mentioning that
stamp paper. What are you talking about? What stamp paper is that?
There will be no street.
It's like how children play Monopoly at a game at home. Is that kind of a stamp paper?
I want to bring in Jitendra Gupta as an activist who works in this area. Jitendra Gupta, you've heard what Niranjan Shetty of the BJP is saying. You've seen the manifesto. Do you believe that this manifesto represents what the city needs right now? Go ahead.
Right. See, basically, all the promises that has been made in past, whether it was a joint promise or it was an individual promise being made now. The biggest problem is there is no guarantee that any of the promises that are made in the manifesto gets fulfilled. There is no authority to keep a check on them. Neither the Election Commission nor you can say the internal body that is promised at times that earlier, like in 2012, Mr. Sudhir, President of BJP, had promised that they will form an all-party committee which will see that the manifesto promises are kept. Now that committee was supposed to meet once in a month. Now till date we don't know how many times that committee had met in last 60 months and what is the final outcome of that committee. That was promised and we don't know what has been the outcome of it. Now all this that is being promised to get the votes, how far it's going to get materialized, that is a big question mark. Like out of the 55 promises that were made in the earlier manifesto, just 12, again the 12 are repeated in the Shiv Sena manifesto, present manifesto. That means they are not able to complete those 12. Again, on the whole, you can see that there are about at least 15 points where they have miserably failed. Like those are all the basic needs that Mumbaikar needs, like 24 hours water, sewage treatment plant. It's just having a Bhumi Pujan at Kulaba. So all these things, they just waste 5 years and again they come to ask vote and nothing is being done. So that, ultimately we Mumbaikar, we feel that we get cheated each time the election comes. Now this should stop somewhere and all that money that Asia's largest body, civil body, collecting so much of revenue, all that is going in drain year after year. And Mumbaikars, even after being taxed so heavily, ultimately fails in getting even the basics of the amenities that he is entitled to. So we don't need Wi-Fi, we need clean roads, the tar roads and the pothole-free roads and the concrete roads that were promised in the last manifesto, where are they? We are looking for those things, the basic things, so that people don't die out of falling into potholes.
In fact, let me pull up the promise versus delivery track record of the Shiv Sena BJP manifesto from the previous election. Job reservations, 100% job reservations that they had promised, not delivered. 24-hour uninterrupted power supply, not delivered. A separate ministry to monitor the manifesto and make sure that the manifesto is fulfilled. No ministry was set up at all, not delivered. Shivaji statue in Mumbai is in the works. That's the only thing we've made some progress on. Niranjan Shetty, this was a manifesto that the BJP and the Shiv Sena released together. It was a government or it was a BMC that the BJP and the Shiv Sena ran together. How is it fair now for the BJP to turn around and call the Shiv Sena, call the BMC a non-transparent, corrupt body when this entire time the BJP was part of it?
Faye, can you come back again? I could not hear the whatever you spoke.
So my question to you, Niranjan Shetty, is that if the BJP and Shiv Sena ran the BMC together for so many years, how can you now turn around and call that same body a corrupt body when you were part of it for so long?
Faye, you need to understand what we pointed out was not today itself. Whenever our Mumbai president, now presently is an MLA, he was a corporator in the same corporation. He has raised up the issue many times. Our honorable member of parliament, Gopal Shetty, who was also the member in the municipal corporation, he has raised up the issue many times. Same like that, either Parag Alwani, Yogesh Sagar. But the difference at that point of time and today's time is that today the government is of BJP, and at that point of time the government was of Congress and NCP. So in spite of us raising all the issues during that tenure and all the corruption that was going on in the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, that was not adhered to, nor action was being initiated. The present government, after Devendra Fadnavis took charge, as soon as our people raised up the issue, action was being taken. All those guilty, whatever related to potholes issue is there, roads is issued.
Clyde Crasto responds to this. Niranjan Shetty basically saying that nothing was done up till now because the state government was being run by the Congress and the NCP.
It's not today that we have been raking up the issue.
the BMC and the state government are two different things altogether. If the BJP was not happy with the Shiv Sena's working in the BMC, they were a minor partner. They could have left them. Why did they continue working with them? Also, the fact here remains that they are all playing delusional politics here. I mean, it's like as if they're amnesia. When they're talking, it's like they're not in the government with the BMC, but they've been together for 15 years. Every single thing that was happening was done under their nose. So what is so different that is happening now that has not happened before? So the point here is, if they say they had raised the voices and they were not so happy with what was happening, they should have left them then. Well, and even now, let me finish. Even now, what they're saying, BJP is saying that the Shiv Sena should go. Shiv Sena is saying, you leave each other. Why are you going together?
You need to understand.
Niranjan ji, when you were talking, I did not interrupt. Rights. Please let me finish. Please kindly let me finish.
You have certain rights.
I did not disturb you, Niranjan ji.
No, finish.
Let me finish. One more point I want to tell you here is also, now they're talking about the Shiv Smarak. Okay, I'll give you another example. This is just playing with the minds of the people. Just before the Bihar elections, they had a big fanfare here in Mumbai, and they inaugurated the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Memorial, right? To date, nothing has happened on the intervals ground. Now again with the fanfare, they've gone ahead and inaugurated the Shiv Smarak, that they're going to build a statue. Nothing is going to happen. This is only to garner votes. Once the BMC elections are over, whatever the results outcome is, they're going to forget about it, because technically there are a lot of issues that is stopping the Shiv Smarak from happening. So it's just that they're playing delusional politics and they're only fooling the people of this city. Nothing concrete. And Niranjan ji keeps talking about freebies. There's nothing called freebies.
All right, let me take
back to what the people are paying for. They are paying taxes.
Let me take this to Shailesh Gandhi. Shailesh Gandhi, I'm a little confused about one manifesto, and we're going to go manifesto by manifesto. One second. Shailesh Gandhi, I don't understand. If according to Niranjan Shetty, the money for the Shivaji statue is coming out of the state government, and that's a separate argument of whether or not the state government can afford it, but we're talking about the BMC right now, then that promise does not belong in a BMC manifesto.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with the BMC.
It's got nothing to do with the BMC. It's nothing to do with the cities.
Cosmetic falsities, if I may call it. The state government also, as you rightly pointed out, is today in a debt of over 3.5 lakh crores. Every person in Maharashtra is in debt. And this is going to raise the debt further. And as you pointed out, there is no talk of where the money will come from. At 20 crores per year, even if it rivals Taj Mahal, it will probably take 1,000 years before it repays everything. Therefore, what it appears is this is being bandied about as a lollipop. It's a state government expenditure. It's a state government project which is being passed off as BMC. So we do not really know whether any of these promises by any party, by all parties, are meant to be followed or are meant to be just put up as festoons for Diwali when the election is there. And that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, okay. Susiieben Shah is on the phone from the Congress party. Susiieben Shah, go ahead. I also have a copy of your manifesto. But go ahead, respond to this, and then I'll ask you my questions.
Talk about these mega projects. The only thing being is again the coastal road. Now it is a mega project. Largely, the BMC is going to be the nodal agency. Now let me tell you this: this coastal project is for whom? It is for the 8% of the people. But the BMC is not coming forward with better infrastructure, better road, better school for the children. Look at the hospitals. So the primary job of a corporation is to govern. At the moment, the governance is marred with misdeeds, and they're trying to divert attention of the public on these mega projects. What are we
All right, Susiieben Shah, your party manifesto says that you will either reduce property taxes or not collect property tax for a year or two. Isn't that a cheap toy of a freebie? What do you mean not collect property tax? How will we run this city if you don't collect property tax?
This has been properly studied. It is not our wishful thinking or imagination. Today also, BMC has huge amount of surplus funds. Now that fund is just lying in the fixed deposit. It is not being used for the welfare of the public. So we are going to use that money and ensure that property tax is to be cancelled for whom? For people who have small houses, for 400, 500, and maybe extend to 650 square feet. So therefore, there is a method. There is a proper analysis that we have made, and we have put up this property tax.
Nikhil Desai, do you buy the method behind?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Faye, give me some time. I want to tell them the citizens face what is the worst problem citizens face up till now.
is about new slums coming every day, everywhere, and new hawkers coming every day, everywhere. The footpaths are not walkable. These three are the most major issues faced by citizens, and nobody is talking. Let a party stand up and say that there will be no new slum developed when we are in power. First, let them say that there will be no new hawker allowed on the footpath when we are in power. And
we have come up with a hawkers policy.
No. Hawker policy, they will all blame it to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has clearly told to demark.
Nikhil, if you're asking something like this and if you are willing to commit to something like that, then you cannot brush us off. No, you have to give us a chance to do it. And if we don't do it, we're going to have a
Supreme Court told. Supreme Court very clear.
You have to allow us to do something and
non-hawking zone.
No, Nikhil,
5 years back.
Your point taken. Your point taken. But you have to give us a chance to do certain things.
No,
and
they
when
will
we don't
never
do
do
it.
it.
No, how can you say we'll never do it, Nikhil?
hang on.
Try and be
So,
positive.
Nikhil Desai,
You want to be positive, Nikhil.
Never ever do implement that.
Nikhil, you cannot be judgmental like this. It's not right.
No, what
Nikhil
judgmental?
Desai, so are you saying that you have no
citizens.
faith? Nikhil Desai, are you saying you have no faith at all in any of the political parties? Are you then opting
we are
for Nota?
discussing the manifestos.
If you think that none of them can achieve the job, then who do we vote for?
Ma'am, manifestos we are talking about, and they are showing big pictures which is of no use to citizens.
We have a clear
I am telling you. Hello.
She said a clear policy on hawkers policy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
a clear cut.
why bring all these Wi-Fi's and coastal roads and Shivaji statues and all those things? No.
Exactly. I completely
agree with you. I agree with Susiieben, agree with you that you shouldn't be doing these things.
Not a single party is going to come in majority and rule the BMC. No. Ultimately, after the results, the same joint will take place, BJP and Shiv Sena or BJP and NCP at the moment.
BJP and NCP are usually.
So
I would request you not to be I take offense to this.
Jitendra Gupta, one second.
You have no substance in what you're talking. You should refrain from giving this kind of predictions which you no please.
Okay, one second.
You should stop giving these kind of predictions.
I don't want to speculate. No, hang on.
Let's wait for the result, because I don't think.
Gentlemen, one second. Nikhil Desai, one second. I don't want to speculate on where the alliances are going to be. I actually want to look at the manifestos and actually find out how much of this is really good for us. So, for example, one second. For example, I want to bring in Jitendra Gupta here. According to the NCP manifesto, 700 litres of clean water per family free of cost. The fare of the best-run buses would be kept at a minimum 5 rupees and capped at 20 rupees. The Congress manifesto talks about abolishing property tax for a few years. It talks about free water of up to 350 litres per family. I want to understand how much of this can we actually afford. Now, is this the kind of system that we should be building in the city, or is this just freebies being offered at the time of the election to win votes? Jitendra Gupta.
Ma'am, Election Commission must come heavily down. No offering of freebies like this.
Yeah, let Jitendra Gupta answer.
They are all making promises to win vote. Now whatever they are promising at the time of election, that is just to attract voters. Now, nothing comes free in this world. Like, even if they are saying that they are going to offer something free, that may be out of the reserve funds that are in FD. So basically, they should have used that FD earlier itself.
It's not free. Freebie word is used by certain people,
which are already in pipeline.
We don't call it freebies.
Those are the projects.
We are trying to give back to the people what is theirs.
Now that's where they have been failing in all these 20 years of rule of Shiv Sena itself. So this is something what we look for. We have not paid those taxes to go into fixed deposit. BMC is not a business body. It is not there to earn interest on those money that has been put into fixed deposit. That money was paid so that those projects which are pending could have got completed. Now that is totally mismanagement and lack of professionalism, that they are not able to complete those projects and they are making those money available into fixed deposit. Like this is something that Mumbaikars will never accept. Like, we don't pay tax to go into a fixed deposit.
Absolutely.
We want those money to be utilized.
Let me bring in Shailesh Gandhi. Shailesh Gandhi, do we want the reserve funds of the city of Mumbai the money that is in fixed deposits, and Jitendra Gupta very rightfully pointing out, there's no business in fixed deposits. It should be used. It's taxes that we pay, and we realize the property tax is fairly high. We pay taxes in the city. It will be used for the city. Now, do we want it to be used to hand out free water and free power and bring and free property tax, or do we actually want to use it to make roads, to build rapid transport, to give clean water? And don't give us free water, give us clean water, give us clean air, those basic things that we want.
I think a metropolitan city like Mumbai deserves very good services, which is lacking. And they are saying we'll give you this free, that free, etc. And there's no idea where it's coming from. They are talking of fixed deposits. Does any one of them know how much the fixed deposit and how much is the loans that BMC has borrowed? I would like one of them to at least tell us this huge secret. There is supposed to be a huge secret. How much of the money is in fixed deposits and how many loans has BMC taken on interest? They are not telling us. They are only saying we have a lot of funds and we'll do this. Education. Municipal education is suffering like nobody's business. BMC spends 50,000 rupees per child per year. But every year, lesser and lesser students are going to BMC schools. The pathetic state of BMC schools is really appalling. And not one party is talking about it.
No,
I haven't...
No, we are Shailesh bhai. Shailesh bhai, we are. Shailesh bhai, we are talking about it, Shailesh bhai. Okay. We are talking about, Shailesh bhai, we are talking about the basic needs of every Mumbaikar. I mean, you have to give us a chance. You know, I'll give you the manifesto. I mean, there are questions. You have all the right to question us. I agree with you. But there are a lot of basic issues that we're looking at. And when you rightly pointed out the education of the municipal schools, we are looking at it. The most important thing is the way the structure of every municipal school is. If they are not safe, how are the children going to sit there and study? We are going to look at it starting from there.
What will you do? Clyde, please tell us what will you do for municipal schools?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'll be specific. That's what I'm saying. The structure of every municipal school is in such a bad condition. The ceilings are falling, the plaster is falling off. We are going to make sure that, Shailesh bhai,
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you everything.
Understand that education is the fundamental reason why a school exists, and the education has gone to dog.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Please tell us.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So once we start off where the children can, they can sit safely in the school. That's where the most important part, Shailesh bhai. That's where we have to start from. And then the education is going to come. I will give you my manifesto.
What
you can go through the whole thing.
Please tell us.
Well, we are starting from the 5th standard. I'll give you a point now, since you've been specific. Starting from the 5th point, besides the general education that goes on in these schools, we're going to now start teaching them about business education, information and technology.
How will the standard of education be?
Let me just point out right now, in the BMC schools, we have ceilings that are collapsing. We have teachers that are not showing up to work. And we have manifestos like the Shiv Sena. I want to point out to our audience that the Shiv Sena could not find time to be part of this conversation because they're all out in election rallies right now, making it very clear what kind of, what kind of election that they're chasing after. Shiv Sena's manifesto says e-library in all municipal schools in Mumbai. Are you joking? Are you joking? E-libraries? You want e-libraries in schools that cannot hold up their own roofs right now? You want e-libraries in schools where children are dying because roofs are falling on their heads? The ceiling is collapsing onto the children's heads.
The bathrooms. There is no bathrooms. Now,
this is the quality of the education that we are offering our children, that the teachers don't come to school. Let's not joke about e-libraries. But then again, the other thing that has barely come up is health. Shailesh Gandhi, health is a BMC responsibility.
Absolutely.
We have stories that are doing the rounds in the media on a daily basis of people who die because they do not find beds in hospitals. There is a rule that says that all hospitals need to reserve a certain number of beds for those weaker sections of society. That does not happen. Patients get bounced from hospital to hospital until they do not survive. Where is it in the manifesto? Where is it on your priority list, Shailesh Gandhi? I don't want e-libraries. I don't want Wi-Fi. I want basic human rights.
E-library, the tabs that you distributed don't even function. What e-library are you talking about?
The Shiv Sena says a music academy for all BMC schools. Are you joking? Shailesh Gandhi.
People are really joking, and I'm sorry, all political parties are joking. Not one of them has pointed out how they will improve the education. Giving business courses, etc. is certainly not for schools.
Please tell us.
we are keen to hear. Two,
Mr. Gandhi,
please tell
Mr.
us how much is the
Gandhi,
fixed deposit of BMC
as far
and how
as
much
education is concerned, I
is
would like
money
to
that has been taken on loans. Please tell us. We want all the political parties to tell us.
As far, can I come in, Faye?
Yes.
The only issue I would like to speak, Shailesh, by at the moment now it raises education. Now, you must be knowing that not most of the schools don't have bathrooms. Now, initially, the government, maybe under the auspices of NCP Congress government, we started a pilot project with Muktangan and Akshara to at least convert part of the school giving English education to an international standard. But that pilot project has remained what it is, a pilot project. But we've given in a manifesto that we would come up with one such school on an international standard given the allocation of funds, and then we'll replicate. It is all about giving us a chance. You see Delhi, we know how to govern a metropolitan city. Sheila Dikshit has done a fantastic job. Free water, let me tell you this. Why free water for 20 litres? Not all. The first 30 litres or 100 litres is by gapping 30% of the wastage. We have said we will not stop the leakages to the tune of 15 to 20%. Miracles can be done. We have very good people, public-private partnership, including BMC playing a bigger role. We can deliver on basic issues of health, of education. Give us a chance. मत बदलेगा तो ही मुंबई बदलेगी.
Niranjan Shetty, I want you to respond to this, the quality or the abysmal quality of education in the BMC schools, the poor quality of health in BMC hospitals.
What Susiieben Shah is doing, this is exactly what we are saying. She must have not read our manifesto properly. Now this is where we are saying there would be a public partnership in this. We want the education system.
You took 20 years to implement it, gentlemen.
We are looking into it. If you read our manifesto properly, we have specifically mentioned.
You must talk about delivery.
Allow me
no
to
more
speak,
manifestos.
When you
were given 20 years, Shetty
interrupt you.
You must come out
Susiieben, don't interrupt me. I did not interrupt you.
Niranjan, you are not allowing anybody to talk. So when somebody is also telling you, you also listen.
No, but how can
you are not allowing anybody to talk.
You must
right. You had your time. I did not interrupt you either.
Niranjan Shetty, okay, let him finish what he's saying.
Let me say what my party wants to do.
You had 20 years to do it. You didn't do it. Now you're still wanting to do.
All right, let Niranjan Shetty finish making his point, and then you can
speaking about
rebut.
a pilot project, and that is exactly in our manifesto. We have specifically mentioned as to how we can upgrade the schools of Mumbai, how we will take public partnership into that, and upgrade the standard of this, like Mr. Gandhi or somebody else also mentioned, that nobody has spoken about it. But yes, it is our manifesto which we have spoken. There are many other areas wherein till today none of the people have spoken about the dignity of the woman. We are concentrating to construct more toilets on the road.
What are you doing for 20 years?
These are our respect and dignity.
What are you doing for 20 years? Still building toilets even now?
These are the things in our manifesto which none of the either it is Congress,
I have this
NCP
question for you,
or
Niranjan
Shetty. They are either speaking of the redevelopment of the gardens or...
Niranjan Shetty, I just have a very quick question for you. The Finance Ministry, the Central Finance Ministry, the Union Finance Ministry has named the BMC the most transparent government body in the country.
Laugh loudly.
Now we have the Chief Minister today who, addressing a rally, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has just said that that's a false claim being made by the Shiv Sena, that no such award has been made. So is the BJP a little confused between centre and state about whether or not the BMC is transparent or not, sir?
You need to go through that complete set of book. See, there was one concept of where a transparency in kind of administrative nature was concerned. So that was highlighted. But as far as
administrators for all the wrongdoings in the BMC,
construction of roads, was it not a reality? Was there not a reality in the Nala desilting? Corruption into that? Was there not a corruption into the tap? So these are all.
What were you doing? Sitting quietly and not raising questions?
Even when we were together.
You were allowing them to do what they were doing.
All right, I have a citizen on the phone line. I have Ravi Narayan who's called in. He's called in from Mumbai.
I am in the corporation.
Ravi.
I know what was
Niranjan
taken
Shetty,
up.
I'll come back to you to respond to this question. Ravi Narayan is on the phone line. Ravi, thank you for holding. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah. A few issues. One is a political one, and another is my personal issues. The issues which needs to be looked into on a very urgent note is societies which have been delayed in terms of conveyance fees, dumping grounds which are an issue. That needs to be solved. State of the BMC hospitals and the schools. I remember almost going to a Sion hospital to the morgue. That morgue looks quite similar to what I had seen way back in the 85. It still remains the same. And we are talking about high-tech machinery and all those things being brought into the picture. The other issue is the election part of it. I would like to know what is this nota which has come into existence? None of the above. And this thing has become a mockery. One should be using it to a purpose. But if there is a nota against a sign, there should be a way where this person's candidature should be removed or withdrawn. That's one part of it. BJP blaming the mess in the BMC on the Shiv Sena. It's pathetic. It's like the husband blaming the wife for the expenses being done in the house. They have no right to do it. They have been sleeping around, moving around with these people from the last 20 years. And the ultimate thing which is going to get, as a conclusion is that it's purely a gimmick. We are fully aware that BJP or the Shiv Sena may not get a majority, and ultimately these people are going to sit together. Maybe the Shiv Sena may end up saying that we will support you from outside and all those things. They should be strong and put their foot down and say we are not going to support the BJP. Let there be another election.
All right. Let me bring in Niranjan Shetty to respond to that. Niranjan Shetty, nobody's going to interrupt you. Very clear questions coming in from a citizen. He says that, and I want you to answer this one. He said the BJP cannot possibly be blaming the Shiv Sena for mismanagement right now because you're partners.
Person who was on the phone,
yes,
he was speaking about the garbage. He was speaking about the garbage. How? So we are concentrating on the scientific method where such kind of zero garbage can be created, and which within the premises of the building it can be vermicultured or decomposed at that level. So all the scientific method that is required in the city, we will be concentrating on this.
Will you give us something measurable and a time frame, please?
Can I come in? Somebody is interrupting me.
Sir, will you please give us a time frame and a measurable quantity on your garbage itself?
Let me speak. No, now you spoke about the dumping ground, you spoke about all other facilities. Now if you read our manifesto, we have spoken mainly on the basic requirement of the city. Either it is supply of water, either it is related to potholes, either it is related to health. We have concentrated on that. So basically it is, as Pei rightly said, it is our only manifesto which are taking care and mentioning of each and minute detail.
No.
So basically,
now let us not pat our own backs. Let the citizens do it. No. We cannot sit here and listen to a sermon.
I pointed out that yours is the only manifesto.
No. Hold on.
That you'll know on the 23rd.
I have a question. I have a question for Clyde. Clyde's NCP manifesto says allocating 700 litres of clean water per family free of cost. Niranjan Shetty, 1 minute. The Congress's manifesto talks about free water of up to 350 litres per family free of cost.
That is ironical. That is what I am saying.
Now, as of October, one second, Niranjan Shetty, as of October 2016, the water needed...
in spite of that, they were not able to give.
But there is so much of leakage.
Niranjan Shetty, okay, hang on. If everybody shouts over each other, then like the BMC, we will achieve nothing. Gentlemen. Just give me 1 second.
I cannot hear, that's why. Sorry, I cannot hear, that's why I'm speaking loudly.
As of October 2016, we'll try and get that audio fixed. As of October 2016, the water needed in Mumbai for 304 days, the stock was 243 days worth of water. We have a deficit of 61 days worth of water in Mumbai right now. And this is because the rains weren't enough from what I understand, which is shocking because we also live in a city where we pump fresh rainwater into the ocean during the monsoon every year without banking any of it. Because in this day and age, we still haven't figured out how to harvest our rainwater. We throw it into the ocean every year, and then during the summer we complain that there's not enough water, and then we have water cuts. This is the situation that we live in. Where will the free water come from, Clyde? the free water that you're promising, where will it come from? Go ahead, answer.
We're trying to tell you earlier was there are two major issues that we need to do, and if we look into that, we'll be able to do this free water that we're talking about. There's a big water mafia.
From Ajit
Niranjan ji, can I finish talking?
Finish.
I can also talk over, but Face told us, Face said no one's going to speak. He just, I'm respecting her.
No, go ahead.
Therefore, I didn't talk when you were talking. So please let me finish.
Finish what you're saying, and then
there's a huge water mafia.
Ajit Pawar will be creating some magical.
Niranjan ji, you want to get into a discussion with this? I'm very happy to do it, but I'm respecting Faye, and I think you should learn to respect also.
Mr. Shetty, let's hear the actual plans.
And don't try this divisive politics because it's not working for you. People are listening.
Reminding you what.
No, I will remind you a lot of other things also. But let's not get on to this rhetoric because it's not serving either you or me. Okay, so let me just finish talking here.
Mr. Shetty, let Clyde finish what he's saying, and then I'll come back to you for a response. Go ahead, Clyde.
No, I was talking about, there are two major things that we need to look into, which will help us give, the water that we're talking about. There's a lot of leakages that we need to plug in, which has been not looked into, which we are going to look into now. And there's a water mafia, that water tanker mafia that's been running around. We're going to plug that too. After having done that, we'll have a lot of water that can take care of the city. So these are the major issues that we're looking at. So that's the reason we have worked that out. We've thought about it very well. And that's why we've gone ahead and said that we're going to give the 700 liters of water.
All right, I have Anil Parab right now of the Shiv Sena who joins us on the phone line. Parabji? Okay, apparently that we've lost that phone call.
Can I just say?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
The easiest solution is instead of our sewage water going in the sea untreated, straight away sewage filtration plant, and
that's what also
you never mentioned. You are telling it now. You have not mentioned. You said about plug leakages and water mafia.
It is there in the manifesto. Please take this for you. You can keep this with you.
My city can become green if we start using those sewage treated water all over Mumbai and make it green. No fresh water for car washing, no fresh water for gardening, no fresh water for toilet. Like that, there are so many things which can do, but just putting it on manifesto is not going to solve the problem.
Just for your knowledge, I spoke about 2 points, but there's a whole
there is also
repeatedly you said.
No, there are 15 points about what we're talking about.
Now that we are harping on the NCP Congress government, of which I am very proud of, and I'm sure Clyde is.
Nobody's harping, we're just asking questions.
We started the concept, not you, but Mr. Shetty. So, we had started the concept of rainwater harvesting. The new societies, which would have come for a completion certificate during our tenure, had to have a plan of rainwater harvesting. So, in Mumbai, if you're not aware, Mr. Ratnakar Shetty, all the new buildings were supposed to have rainwater harvesting, and that water was to be used for the purpose which Desai Sahib said, for washing cars, flushing, so on and so forth. So you must get your data straight. Yes. We are working on rainwater harvesting. Faye, we are talking about stopping leakages. If you stop the leakages to the tune of 10 to the 15%, there is your answer for free water for poor people.
Mafia.
So therefore, understand, let us not just negate the good things that we have done. Let us try and work together for a better reform in the city. We are asking for a chance. We should be given a chance.
We're talking about the BMC elections, and I just want to remind our viewers why this is so important. Now, incidentally and conveniently for the government, the elections, Shailesh Gandhi, have come up in the month of February. Now, if these elections had come up in June, July, August or September, when it was raining and we were spending 4 hours a day stuck in our cars or on the road, when streets were flooding, and with repeated claims of the fact that waterlogging will not happen, everything is under control, we're being debuffed every day, we would have had a completely different result. I want to remind the viewers right now from Mumbai, this is what you went through, and public memory tends to be short, so I want to remind you to think about this and go out and vote. Shailesh Gandhi, what are you expecting from a government that comes in now?
Commitments that are made by political parties must give a measurable quantity and say, this is how you will measure what I am committing. These are the time frames, which I think are basically absent. I have not heard any time frames, as you rightly pointed out, except for a memorial. All parties, let them even think now, how will they finance whatever they are talking of? What do they forecast the finances of the BMC 5 years from now? Because when you promise free things, you got to see where is this money coming from. And if they do this, I think Mumbai will be a better city and they will deliver better. next election round, people will have greater faith in them. Today, people's faith, unfortunately, in the political setup is very, very low. There is really no faith. It is just a matter of saying A, B or C with no differential which people can see. I hope they give us something with, and as I suggested, a perception index of corruption, a perception index of cleanliness. These are things that are doable, and there is no promise of that, I find, anywhere, nor any dates for when drinkable water will be available, nor any
so
dates.
actual quantifiable plans. I want to bring Jitendra Gupta.
Just one last thing,
Yes.
open spaces. Will they give us a guarantee that they will not make our open spaces be given to third parties and create private interest?
All right, Jitendra Gupta. Jitendra Gupta, there's been a lot of talk about the fact that freebies or no freebies. I think fundamentally, I think fundamentally when we say that we're going to spend 37,000 crore rupees on a statue, that is in some way trying to whip up emotion of the people in order to get votes. Should these manifestos steer away from things like that are anyways not going to be part of the BMC's job, they're not going to come out of the BMC budget, they should stay focused on simple things: clean water, clean air, open spaces for our children to play, hospitals and schools.
See, basically, I feel, first of all, the manifesto, whatever they are promising, that needs to be accountable. There should be some body or some authority which could penalize them in case they are not fulfilling the manifesto. Like when they are coming for the next election, they should be graded according to their manifesto, like how much they have completed and how much, what grade they have got in past. So that will make them accountable all throughout those 5 years. That is first thing, the manifesto should be made more accountable. Secondly, it is also important that the public grievances should be addressed properly. Like right now, 1916, whatever complaint you make, nothing happens. Like nobody bothers. You complain on website, nobody bothers. The street lights are not working. Ordinary citizen complains, nobody bothers. So these are the things the public should be made part of the management, and they should, wherever the complaint comes, they should be attended within 24 hours. This is something which is lacking all throughout these years. So that is where we all citizens of Mumbai, we feel that we get cheated each time. Like tall promises are made, but the basics that we need, the clean water or the gutter water is coming in our pipeline. If we complain, nobody bothers. Now these are the basic things that we need that should be attended without, making just tall promises. Like 1916 should really become effective. And many other things like that, there should be some accountability. And not only that, again, what they are saying as free BIPs, we don't really need those things. We need clean environment, the better living conditions that we are living. This is one of the world's best city, and with the best of the revenue that is collected, but still the quality of life that we are getting is worse. So there's something what we need really from the whichever government comes into power. We are not bothered. All that we need is good citizen life.
Right. All right. So we're not interested, and Jitendra Gupta is right. We're not interested in the political, game that is going to be played over the next couple of months. What we want actually are basic services. Unfortunately, I have run out of time on this conversation, but we will continue. And I promise everyone in this panel, and I hope Niranjan Shetty will come into the studio the next time for a better discussion. But we will continue right through next week in the run-up to the election, to talk about what we need as citizens, and we will keep making this list so that our politicians understand us better. Stay with us. We'll come back with another discussion on the other side of this break.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magicbricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magicbricks Now.